Hey there, David Risley here with Blog Marketing Academy. Just sitting at my desk in my t-shirt, wearing shorts, pretty much the uniform of a standard online entrepreneur. So here, I'm making a video this week, this one, and I'm trying something new. You might remember 2 or 3 weeks ago when I sent out the weekly newsletter, and I said that may very well be my last one. And I wasn't kidding. It actually probably is going to be my last one. Now, the two solutions that I had in mind was going to be either that I just stop doing it altogether and send out, emails having to do with the latest posts, and basically things where when I have a reason to send out an email to you, then I will send out that email to you. The other option was doing a video like this every week where I basically just kind of do an update video on things that are happening at the Academy. So at least for now, I'm going to give that a try, hence this video. So first thing, I've got a little notes underneath my webcam here. We finished off the October series that I was running last month. It all had to do with a systematic approach to building an online business, and then we went into the theory of constraints. I forgot, I think there's 5 posts in total in that series. Very valuable stuff, in my personal opinion. This is stuff that I have seen personally be responsible for the growth of a couple of businesses that I'm personally familiar with, because these are 2 guys that are in my mastermind group. And I happen to know, because I've watched from a distance some other people, and this material is powerful, and I'm also putting it to use in my business. So that October content that I put out on the public blog was not just for my own enjoyment. It was because I think it's extremely important, and I think it really holds the key to alleviating a lot of this mystery that has to do with online business. Like, what do I do now? And everything seems to look alike, and it's kind of overwhelming, and you're confused on what to do, and you need a sense of order as you go from newbie to creating an online business that can actually work. And thinking of it in terms of systems and applying the theory of constraints is extremely powerful stuff. So if you've not gone through that, I highly recommend you go and check out the previous 5 posts or so from the month of October, and maybe I'll link to them below this video. Now, along that line, I am steadily at work on the new Module 3 for the Academy training. I was working on Module 6 and decided to back it up and inject a new Module 3, having all to do with systems and the theory of constraints. Actually taking the material that we discussed on the blog and getting really specific with it, with specific tools to put it to use. And it's really powerful stuff. I'm having a blast going through it. And it's really cool, too, for me, because as I said before, a lot of the information out there about the theory of constraints can seem really academic and boring as snot. And one of the things that helps anybody who teaches is because in the process of teaching it, it opens my eyes to a lot of things and actually simplifies it a lot for me, which is great. So not only am I helping my students and helping you guys inside the Academy, but it's helping me actually teach it, which is awesome. So that's Module 3. I think it was Friday of last week that I uploaded 2 new modules, 2 new videos into that. And I've got my write-up here on the ones that are coming. The next one has to do with resolving conflicts and stuck constraints. A lot of us, if we do the work to figure out what's stopping us, it's not necessarily easy to just see your way through it. A lot of people, you may have a thing where you just don't feel like you have time to work on your business. You're just running out of time because of your job or your family or what have you. And just simply spotting that is one thing, but it's another thing to figure out what to do about it. So in this video that I'm going to be working on, it's going to really get down to the nitty-gritty on what sticks those things so that we can actually work together to alleviate those constraints and allow your business to grow. So I think it's going to be really, really cool. Thirdly, I want to mention the upcoming webinar. Now, as of this recording, I don't have the exact date for that, but I am going to be doing my first public webinar in quite some time, where we're going to be going over from beginning to end all the material that we discussed in the month of October with regard to systems and the theory of constraints. So I think this is probably one of the more important webinars that you can get on, in my personal opinion. There's going to be a lot of instructional stuff. It's not going to be one big disguised pitch fest or anything like that. It's going to be very instructional, and I think you'll get a lot of value out of that. So there will probably be a link below this video where you can RSVP for that free webinar. If not, stay tuned to your email, and you will definitely have the details of it emailed to you. Lastly, the weekly newsletter always ended off with a tip of the week, and I want to do that here as well. For those of you who are still trying to decide on what your niche is going to be, what your market is going to be for your business or your blog, I find that a lot of people get stuck on this because they don't really know what to go into, or what I find in a lot of cases is they kind of have a general idea, but they feel like it's too vague and too broad. So therefore you don't really appeal to anybody because you're being way too broad with your niche. So what I usually tell people here in this case is to, instead of trying to figure out what you want to talk about, instead start with the problem. Start, in my October series, I talked about how the real product that you're creating for people is an outcome or a transformation. You are identifying what it is that they want, and you're providing them a pathway to get from where they are to where they want to be. And that where they want to be is probably going to be along the lines of a problem alleviated, or something that they're trying to grow, be bigger. It's some outcome that they want. So instead of trying to figure out what you want to talk about, start with the outcome, make it as concrete as you possibly can, very real, assign exact numbers to it, be very concrete about that, and then you work it from there backwards into what you're going to be talking about. You don't want to go into this business just talking about something like the typical blogger. You want to start with a problem and then go, okay, what am I going to provide by way of my content and my eventual products to provide a solution to that problem? And that you are actually setting something up with a foundation that can actually create a business out of it, versus just talking about something, which is going to be a hell of a lot harder to build a real business around that. Okay, so that's my ending tip, is start with the problem, work it backwards, and be as concrete as you possibly can, because that's going to make your blog and the content that you put out extremely relevant to people, and they will search it out because they're searching out solutions to the problems that they have. Okay, so with that, thank you for watching. I would love to hear from you below this video. Let me know what you think about this format of the weekly videos. If you can deal with me just blabbing for a few minutes here. And stay tuned for details on that upcoming webinar, where we will be covering a lot of the stuff that we talked about in October, but doing it in a live environment, a live workshop environment, and it will be totally free. So I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, see you soon.